We still got some answers from earlier to get through, but remember, people can get in with their football guy Andrew questions, too, for the hour. Ralph from Charlotte says, in the famous words of Billy Joel, don't go changing to try and please me. We never would have come this far. Talking about the game plan and the potential change from a running offense to a passing offense on Sunday.
Well, I don't like Billy Joel, but I like that analogy. And that's kind of what Andrew and I had been speaking about early in the open. But John tends to think otherwise, which is fine.
I think otherwise.
But you're not alone in that. There's a lot of folks that want to see the passing game really take shape, and because they have 4 weeks to get it right.
I would just say that there was the person who told you all summer long to be ready for NFC title game weekend. Now everybody's on the bus. There's not even any good seats left if you get on the bus. Listen to me on this. You're going to need to throw the ball. I want to see it. Steelers game's a perfect opportunity. Best single coverage, most single coverage in the NFL.
Yep.
This is a game that A.J. Brown.
And he's going against a rookie junior, by the way.
Who, by the way, is going to get, he's going to be like Salciunas on prom night.
This upcoming game. So we've been talking a lot about changing the style of offense a little bit. That's been the big talking point since everything happened on Sunday. But let's focus on Eagles-Steelers. Forget path to the playoffs. Eagles-Steelers Sunday. Still a big game because they're playing to win their division. The Eagles with a win and a Commanders loss wins the division. And, oh, by the way, they're still trying to keep up with Detroit because there is still a percentage chance of them getting the 1 seed. What are some of the things that we should keep a close eye on during this Sunday's game against the Steelers at 4:25?
Well, if you're a football guy or a football junkie, the game within the game is going to be in the trenches. I cannot wait to watch how this is going to unfold. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 2 rookie linemen in the middle of their offensive line. In Mason McCormick, who there was some pre-draft interest from the Eagles. They sent their assistant offensive line coach to put him through his pro day workout. And they also have Zach Frazier. But they're going against Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams. And that's going to be, I believe, what's going to set this game apart because Jalen Carter should be able to wreck shop against those rookie linemen. They haven't seen anything like what he's going to be able to propose. And then when you look at the Steelers' defensive line and how the Eagles' offensive line can match up with that, T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward has 19 quarterback hits this year. He's done a tremendous job at his age. Alex Highsmith's there.
That guy has not lost a step.
No, not at all.
How many years has he been in the league? At least 15?
At least.
I mean,
13 to 15 years,
that guy's
maybe.
Just a beast.
But then you have T.J. Watt. You have Keanu Benton, who is a defensive lineman from Wisconsin who plays with really good leverage, so I think he could give Cam Jurgens some issues potentially because he uses that to his advantage. So this is going to be physicality versus physicality, and I would think you would take the Eagles' offensive line given their sample size and their ability to impose their will against the opposition.
By the way, this is year 14 for Cam Hayward.
That's 13 to 15, yeah.
I think Chattahoochee High School's Cam Hayward or something like that. I remember him growing up.
He went to Peachtree Ridge.
He's a Peachtree Ridge.
And then went to Ohio State and has been with the Steelers his entire, I imagine, future Hall of Fame career.
His father was a great dude. Really nice man.
And then Alex Highsmith joined the lineup last week after missing the previous 3 games with an ankle injury, and he had a sack in his first game back. This is going to be a really, really big test for the Eagles' offensive line.
You made a comment earlier about remarkable. First of all, can we all agree on this? Did the Steelers have the coaching advantage on Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that include the coordinators, though?
No. I think
head coach to
Arthur
head
Smith
coach.
doesn't know what he's doing.
Arthur Smith's had a good year, though.
Yeah, he
I know
has.
he has,
He has. He's done a nice job sort
he
of
stunk with the Falcons.
Yeah.
But you talk about remarkable. I think that Mike Tomlin, and I've argued this, and I think Mike Tomlin's a hell of an individual. I think he would have been fired long ago in Philadelphia.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
he would have. The patience from city to city is nowhere close to it.
His first 5 years, here's just a couple numbers for you. His first 5 years, he went to 2 Super Bowls. He was 5-2 in the postseason in those 2. He won 2 AFC titles, won 1 Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, in the playoffs, the 12 seasons after that, he has 3 playoff wins. He hasn't won a playoff game since before the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 17.
Right. But
he was 5-2 in the postseason. He's 3-8 since after his first 5 years. I always just say to people, yeah, it's because Pittsburgh was patient. Because he'd be fired. He would have been fired here, and it not even a question.
that's a great point, John. And I would also say to add to that, he's excellent at talent evaluation. His draft is spot on. He's good at developing players. And he takes teams that don't have maybe as much talent year to year as maybe some of the other ones in the NFL, and he outperforms expectations. So to me, I think when you take his whole body of work into account, I think what he's been able to do is remarkable.
I would say the one big thing, because I don't know, this might be a little ahead of myself. I don't think Russell Wilson's going to win a Super Bowl with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You keep on winning games, you're not getting yourself in any sort of position. They had the chance with Kenny Pickett, clearly didn't work out. They move on from Pickett. They got the Russell Wilson, Justin Fields thing.
How much was it, though, that he had his franchise quarterback and it was stable and they had a great relationship and they won a lot? And then later on in his career, when Big Ben's breaking down and everything, he doesn't win. It's just I wonder.
No, he might be a franchise quarterback away is what I'm saying.
Oh, I think there's a lot of coaches that are a franchise quarterback
No, but
away.
like,
You know what I mean?
look at what he's doing, accomplishing with Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson's not the same player that we saw in Seattle. I just wonder, like, can you keep this success year in and year out? I mean, you thought this would be the year that
I
they
thought this
finished
was
under
the year they were
500.
under 500. Well, I also thought it was the year that Buffalo was going to miss the playoffs. So let's not.
No, but still.
Let's not rehash that.
Let's not bring up every prediction from this.
No, I'm just bringing up the
summer.
No, but I wasn't disagreeing with you about the Steelers.
No,
thing.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, I thought, all right, they'll finish right around 500, which is what they're accustomed to doing. They're 10-3 this year.
Now, that I didn't see coming at all. I thought the Bengals would actually win that division.
Right.
But I think what he's been able to do, given the circumstances, going into training camp, they didn't even know who their quarterback was going to be. Was it going to be Russell Wilson or Justin Fields? Justin Fields, I think many thought would run away with that job, given the athleticism and the ceiling. But I think he's done a lot with what he's had to work with.
The ground attack for the Steelers, you can stop them. I know Najee Harris is coming close to 1,000 yards, but that's all they do.
He's not a game breaker either.
No.
877 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns. He's more of a plotter. He's somebody that I kind of like how the Eagles do, except Saquon has game-breaking ability, clearly, but they're going to continue to try and run him a little bit and hope that he's going to hit one, but he doesn't have that home run hitting ability, so you're probably only going to see a 20-yard run, and he'll get tackled down the field if he does break one, but that is their path to victory. And Pat Freiermuth, when they do get to the red zone, their tight end, because there's going to be no George Pickens this week, they are sort of devoid of pass-catching options when they don't have George Pickens available.
Yeah.
Got a good feeling that they're still going to be able to run the ball this week. After watching that Baltimore game, that they'll be able to do that. Is if the Eagles are having success running the ball, do you think that is going to get them throwing it more proficiently, or do you think that they will stick with what they've been doing?
I think it'll open things up where they do pass the football. Maybe not to the degree that you may want or what a lot of folks would like to see, but I think what A.J. Brown said coming off that Carolina Panthers game, and again, hate to rehash that, but it shed a spotlight on that, and I think he's kind of getting out in front of it so that they have time to really work and iron those things out, and they have 4 weeks to do so, and I think if they do set things up with the run, John, you're going to see them try to become a little bit more pass happy.
Now, let me ask you, because he has said he did it on purpose. He said it.
He has
publicly on
absolutely
purpose.
said that, yes.
So I compared this to the Trey Turner standing ovation a few years ago. It's wonderful that it worked. But my question was, if we do this and it doesn't work, what are we doing next week? Are we just going to boo him louder? Like, what are we going to do if this standing ovation that sounds beautiful doesn't work? Now, it worked. It was great. What if this plan of A.J. Brown's to put this out publicly doesn't necessarily work?
Who's getting booed?
No, I'm not saying booed.
No, but I mean, it's like there's nobody.
No. I was talking about the fan. What's the fan base reaction to the standing ovation not working?
Okay.
What's A.J. Brown's reaction or other players in the locker room's reaction to it potentially not working? I wouldn't be surprised if T.J. Watt has 4 sacks on Sunday. And,
oh, man, 4?
No, you're losing. You're losing then.
Yeah, that's
then
a
we're
loss.
coming
So,
in,
and
it's a loss.
and if that's because of the passing game, not Jalen Hurts, the passing game, as A.J. Brown alluded to, is the whole thing. If it doesn't look better on Sunday, then what's the conversation? After he said, I did this on purpose to try to maybe kick it into another gear. Like, that to me is the fear of making this public.
Well, that will be the talking point coming out of that game. If they still aren't able to conjure up any semblance of a functional passing game, that's going to be the primary topic of conversation. But I tend to think that they will, because there's games week in and week out that there are players open. Now, if they're running the football and staying true to their offensive approach, their new philosophical approach, T.J. Watt shouldn't have 4 sacks because they're not going to be dropping back that much.
He has 4 sacks this.
Hey guys, Andrew Salciunas from Kincade and Salciunas. Thank you for checking out all of our stuff on YouTube. Make sure you click, like, subscribe on everything that you see. And of course, you can see everything from our YouTube feed. Full shows, interviews, When John's Being an Idiot, which is like 15 times a day. So make sure you check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We appreciate it.